TrueWork is hell-bent on creating the most technical, high-performance workwear in the world. The TrueWork story begins in the Colorado mountains, where a trade worker knew that there had to be a better solution than the wet, heavy gear that was weighing him down. That's where TrueWork was born. I actually have some TrueWork overhauls I wear at the track. Warm, waterproof, you can't beat them. You gotta check it out. If you're a hard-working son of a bitch and you're out in the elements, TrueWork is for you. Denim and cotton canvas haven't changed much over 200 years. TrueWork upgrades traditional classic by using the same fabrics worn by elite outdoor athletes. Soft, stretchy, sweat-wicking soft-cell work pants are a major upgrade over wet, heavy jeans. Wind and waterproof shells use intellectually placed insulation for streamlined warmth that lets you stay mobile and agile. TrueWork has over 50,000 five-star reviews and countless stories from trade pros in every state from almost every job across the country. Upgrade to TrueWork for a major change in the way that you work. TrueWork helps you be your best when your best matters the most. Check out the full lineup and get 15% off your first full order at truework.com/Bubba. That's 15% off at truewerk.com/Bubba. I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. And unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years for overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run. And I switched to Mint Mobile. I'm saving about, 15 to 20 bucks all in a month. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at 15 bucks a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your own phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service for Mint Mobile for only 15 bucks a month. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/Bubba. That's mintmobile.com/Bubba. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Are we starting the show soon?
Yeah, and we're recording now. No, we
Why
are.
Why don't you just put a mic in the bathroom when I'm peeing? This is so intrusive.
I most certainly will. All right. Well, welcome to Tuddle and Kristin. We're gonna
Untitled.
Untitled.
Still
with Tuddle
untitled.
And Kristin. Okay. All right. Well, I'm about to hand over the reins to you because if you remember last week, we had decided because Kristin was, kind of busting my balls a little bit about some of the topics and everything. And I
think it was because I send you topics and you don't use them.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to say, though, is that I'm good for this because if the show's more successful, I don't have to be, I will play second fiddle.
Yeah, here's where this becomes an issue. I realized this today.
What?
So now, though, with me having to control the show, I have to somehow control you as well. And I don't know really if that's possible.
No, it is. I am a better co-host and I can go off of people a lot better than when I'm hosting.
This could be a huge mess.
No, it's going to be great. So what I am telling you is that I'm handing over the reins because I'm super, super excited because we've talked a little bit about some of the things you have in store, and I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, get ready, guys. Buckle in. It's all Bravo, Real Housewives, Kardashians. We're talking about it all.
Whatever. I know that that's not the case, especially with you. Maybe some women, but no, not you. No. Not even close.
No, we're going to talk about shoes, the best places to shop for those shoes. No. These are topics I hate.
All right. So what do you got first on the
what do you got
docket?
first? I see you're putting all this pressure on me.
Well, I'm just
what do you got first?
Yeah, what do you got
what
first?
What are you going to try to do first?
You
know what I'm going to do first. Because I've been only talking about it for days now.
Let me guess.
Cue up the X-Files music.
Well,
We need the theme song playing in the background.
well,
I'm just playing.
I
You don't
could
have to
easily do that if I need to.
I do feel like this is the weirdest time, and I do feel like we're living in a real life episode of the X-Files. Do you not feel like it's strange that we're finding out all these things that were once conspiracies or quote conspiracies are now true?
I feel like we're just in an alternate timeline right now. If I'm just going to be real with you,
I just want to know where my David Duchovny is. Where is my Fox Mulder? Yeah, I just want him to come spoon with me in some ratchet hotel room while we talk about aliens.
Wait, you actually sleeping in a ratchet hotel room? Come on.
I mean, if it's next to David Duchovny.
Okay. What about Mulder though?
Mulder, I love Mulder too.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I am Mulder, so I don't know that you can put a Mulder and a Mulder together.
What about a Scully?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get in a bed with Gillian Anderson too. I mean, look, we'll have a sandwich. Like, I'll be the meat in a Gillian Anderson, David Duchovny sandwich because they're both incredibly gorgeous.
I'm completely
down for it.
I'm completely down for it as well too.
If they hear this, call me.
All right.
Hit me up on social media. Kristin L. Fowler. That's so bad.
So
so I'm jumping in, okay?
Yes, please.
You know what I'm going to talk about? The Epstein List.
Okay. Now,
or the Epstein documents.
Where are we?
Because I've been obsessed with this forever. Since probably 2019 when he committed suicide.
Yeah, we all know that didn't happen, but
I've literally had to rebuy the popcorn because it went bad. I've been waiting so long for this. I don't understand what the problem is and why it's taken us so long to get even to this point. And even now so we're recording this on Friday. We were supposed to have documents released yesterday. They were not released, or at least, I'm sorry, things were released. But they're documents that have already been leaked. We already knew the information in them. Most of us did. And so we're waiting on the real stuff.
Do you think that we'll ever, ever, ever get the real stuff, though?
No. I don't think we're ever going to get all of it because it's been so long and so much stuff has been destroyed.
Do you think people are getting protected that could be on the list?
Yes, because I think he was working with government agencies.
No, so he could have been like a plant, could have been like a CO.
There's rumors that he worked for the CIA.
Oh, well, he did.
I mean, his Rolodex reads like a who's who. I mean, it includes princes, princesses.
When we're talking about princes, we're talking about Andrew, right?
Well,
was one of the big one.
Yeah, but he's not the only one on that list. But yeah, Prince Andrew's on that list, and his ex-wife is on the list. I mean, at least his Rolodex. This isn't his list of clients.
Now, why was he doing this to begin with? Like, was he a pedophile as well, too? Was he sleeping with underage people?
Yes.
Or was he, like, facilitating this to the rich and elite?
Doing both.
Okay.
He was basically the biggest sex trafficker, and he was in the middle of this biggest sex trafficking ring probably ever. I don't know that there was one that was this far-ranging and involved so many supposedly famous people. But you don't want to be on his Rolodex. Unfortunately, a lot of people have found themselves on it for whatever reason. Now, you can say, oh, well, just because I'm on the Rolodex doesn't mean that that's what I was doing. And that's absolutely correct. But I got to tell you, everybody has known for decades what a shady, perverted character Epstein was. Why were you friends with him? Why were you in his orbit at all?
I mean, wasn't he like doing this to catch them on video or using it as blackmail to make money?
No, he wasn't using it to catch them. He kept blackmail on them.
Yeah.
Which is smart because it kept him out of jail.
And at the same time, I'm sure these people were paying a lot of money.
I'm sure that
to
they
stay
were.
off the list.
But he had a lot of money. I mean, he was worth like millions and millions of dollars. He owns the most expensive private residence in New York City. It's not like he was hurting for cash.
Would you go to Epstein Island to do your own investigation if they were like, all right,
yes.
we're inviting people from the media, you get to go to Epstein Island?
Yes. And this is why I'm so obsessed with the case, because there, you know, not to get too serious, but there are people who were victims of him, about 200 plus women. And the thing about it is that he was protected by some of the biggest names internationally and some organizations that were supposed to uphold the law. And I want them exposed more than even having him exposed.
You want the people that help like facilitate this whole thing.
Yes.
People
Because
that protected him, people that kept it going.
The victims deserve that. And I think it's crazy that they're still being protected because so yesterday we were supposed to get this list and these documents and we didn't get them.
Mhm.
They rolled out stuff we already knew about, and you had Pam Bondi say on national television that the reason why we don't have the complete records is that the New York office of the FBI is withholding them. They're withholding files that she didn't know that they were withholding until apparently yesterday. So she sends a letter to Kash Patel, a public letter explaining what went on and that she wants the documents and telling him he has till 8 a.m. this morning. Well, 8 a.m. has come and gone.
But
We have nothing.
Isn't this new guy, though, a part of the whole Trump team? Like, he's new. Why would he be holding up anything?
I don't know. Why did she said last week that she had the records sitting on her desk and was ready to release them. How did you not know then last week that you didn't have the complete story? And now you're saying, well, I would have released more, but I don't have more? No. I need to know what's going on, and I need these names out here, and I need the organizations out there. If the FBI helped cover this up, if the CIA helped, I know that they can't give us specific names, but we'll be able to tell between the redacted black lines.
All right. No, I completely
And people
get
need
that.
to go to jail for this.
Oh,
because
no.
you already murdered Epstein. I mean, I'm sorry. He already committed suicide. So somebody has to pay for this.
No, I agree
And it can't
100%.
just be Maxwell.
Well, I mean, is she being protected? Do we got to worry
She's
about
in
her?
jail.
I know, like, she's in jail, but I mean, Epstein was in jail and he was able to kill himself.
But she's kept her mouth shut. And she continues to keep her mouth shut, and she continues to have hope that she'll get out. So she's not going to probably talk.
But, you know, like in those circles, they don't like, oh, she's going to keep her mouth shut. Like the one true way to keep sure that she does keep her mouth shut is if she's no longer around.
Yeah, but how is that going to look? You get 2 suicides, the 2 people who were at the forefront of this investigation.
I mean, I
mean,
get
they
it.
were obviously the people who were going to take the fall
Yeah.
when this all went down. But do you know, like, there's an evidence list. Do you know how many computers and hard drives they took out of his house?
Oh, I'm sure it's like tons.
I was counting last night and I actually gave up because I was really hungry and wanted a snack, if I'm being honest. I got to 24.
24 different hard drives?
Computers, laptops, hard drives.
Oh, that could be
Can you
tons and tons of
imagine
information.
the information that's on that? And then there are videotapes, there are audio tapes. Where are those? Why are we not seeing them, hearing them, reviewing that information? This government is talking about transparency. So they have to now offer that transparency here, because this is something that the president was asked while campaigning, and he said, I'll release it. I'll release all of it.
So I gotta ask though, does anybody really have a good guess of who's on the list though?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
You mean the client list?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. It's always the same names. People have been named in lawsuits filed by the victims. You know, you've got Prince Andrew on there, Alan Dershowitz.
Ooh. What about allegedly everybody's talked about, Bill Clinton being on
Bill
that
Clinton's
list.
on the list. Stephen Hawking's on the list.
These
are all alleged. I mean,
yeah, all alleged, but I mean that
Leonardo DiCaprio,
really
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
Richard Branson's name appears several times in several different places.
Kevin Spacey does not surprise me though.
Well, he's had a little bit of legal trouble, but not with women.
No.
So I think that's where you have to say, like, just because they're on, I don't want to say the list, just because they're in his Rolodex doesn't mean that they were doing anything wrong. I think some people are looking more at the flight lists, the flight logs, to see. Because if you were traveling, so say, okay, so the president, the current president, Trump, is on one of the flight logs, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But where he appears on the flight log, he appears with Marla Maples,
Yeah.
which was his wife, I think, at the time, and their child. So that wasn't a sex trip. But where there's, say, I'm just going to make up a name, Joe Smith, with, quote, 3 unnamed girls, that might have been something a little bit more nefarious.
Okay.
So you have to sort of read the flight logs too. Just because somebody appears on the flight logs doesn't mean that they were going on a sexcapade.
No, I completely get that.
But yeah, who else was on the list? Michael Jackson, David Copperfield.
Ooh.
Where's he been?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Well, he's a magician. Probably pretty easy for him to disappear.
This is the craziest one that
What?
kept coming up on different sites. George Lucas.
Maybe Epstein was a big fan of Star Wars. I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Hey, come out to my island" or whatever, and he didn't know at the time. Do you feel like there's any people that could be on those flight logs that maybe did not know exactly like what Epstein was up to at that time?
I don't know. I mean, it just depends because I wasn't really in the know as far as like this stuff goes back when it was going on, you know, back when he was first arrested and was absolutely protected by some government organization. So I don't know. I think you have to have had some idea of who he was as a person or his reputation, which leads me to wonder why you would be associating with him. Because if there were rumors of you hanging out with little girls, I might distance myself.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, I completely agree with that one. Like, if you know that there's rumors about somebody, you know, it's the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're getting multiple sources.
What did our parents always tell us?
What?
You are the company you keep.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. And when I was a kid, I didn't really quite get that.
But it does make sense. As an adult,
I absolutely understand it.
So now I've seen a couple of documentaries when it comes to Epstein and stuff, and the island itself I find fascinating though. Like that really creepy building that he has there.
Yeah.
That right there. It almost seems like it's a secret hidden group, like the Illuminati or something, because it almost looks like a temple almost.
Well, I feel like it was a secret hidden group.
Yeah.
Of very wealthy, very powerful men.
That just like to fuck kids.
Yeah, basically. And took advantage of the worst, in the worst way, because what they did was they went after girls who didn't have any support or who didn't have any money or didn't have, you know, parents who were there for them. They went after the most easily victimized people, and they just abused them over and over again.
So yesterday we were talking about this. You had said something about that they released some information to social media people.
They did. Which was, again, so horrible, because I feel personally, please don't email me. I don't want to get into any arguments about this. I feel since January 20th, a lot of things have been happening that were promised during the campaign. And I think that it's been pretty transparent, like everything that's gone on. Mm-hmm. It's all happened right out in front of us. It was really strange to me that Pam Bondi went on Jesse Waters' show on Wednesday night and said, I have breaking news. I'm going to be releasing the Epstein information tomorrow. Hold on to your seats, basically. And then yesterday, waiting. And then sometime in the afternoon, we find out that they gave phase 1 of the Epstein files to a few social media influencers.
Yeah, I need the Paul.
And it was up to them to then disseminate it to the rest of us. Thank you.
I need the Paul brothers to be able to give me like all the info
Yeah,
on the Epstein stuff.
I don't need it trickled down from some guy who's really popular on X or some girl who's super popular on TikTok. I don't even want to go on TikTok.
Do I gotta watch the Call Me Daddy podcast to be able to get all the information on this? Like, for real?
No, but she actually had Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, I
on
did
this
see
week. You
that.
saw that? Okay.
We talked about
That
that.
was great. I mean, I love Call Her Daddy. I love Alex Cooper, but no, it wasn't even somebody like of her caliber, which I would, I could get it if somebody went on her show and wanted to talk about this. But again, don't tell me it's coming to me directly if it's not going to come to me directly. You had to have planned that, right? I mean, that had to have been a plan to get the influencers there. Some of them had to fly there because I remember one of them talking about having to fly back home on his ex. So yeah, I don't like how it all went down. I feel like it was the opposite of transparent. And I have to call them out on it because they did this completely the wrong way. It was a huge fumble, a very public fumble that some people have been waiting on for a really long time. I mean, the information. So people were really paying attention to this. Was not where you wanted to drop the ball.
Any feedback from people that were victims, kind of giving their opinion on the way this has been handled at all? Because
there were a few attorneys for some of the victims on TV last night speaking about it. I mean, they're just happy that the information is coming out. Yeah. And they want more information to come out, which it has been promised that more information will come out. It's just that once again, we were told that it would come out this morning, and we're still waiting on it. It's 2:43 in the afternoon now, and I have it on alert on my phone, and I've got nothing.
Have we gotten all the JFK files that was promised to us?
No, and I'm not taking anything away from that. That's important too. But the victims of Epstein are still alive today. They still are here, and they still can benefit from this information.
But what's the big holdup, though? I mean, if the president declassifies,
the big holdup on what?
Just all the
Epstein stuff?
Epstein, JFK. I mean, these were all.
The holdup on the Epstein stuff is that these people, a lot of them are still in power. That's my guess.
Yeah.
You have a lot of Hollywood elite on these lists as well. I'm not going to go into like all of the names. I don't even know legally what you're allowed to say versus
allegedly, some of the names that I've heard. Well, one of the bigger ones everybody talks about, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I left him off the list because that one hurts.
Yeah, it does.
But he's on several different lists.
Okay.
I don't know what the
story
is.
That one does. That's a big kick in the balls because I do like Tom Hanks.
Think about it like this. Yeah. If you have several princes on your list, if you have Hollywood elite on your list, if you have top people in government agencies on this list, and I mean the bad list, the client list, what are the chances that it comes out in its entirety?
Are they giving us any like media, like, multimedia kind of like videos or photos that we can attach? Was that supposed to be in the files or no?
They've never told us exactly what they're going to give us. They said we're going to release it all, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that would include what I was talking to you about, the stuff that they found on the hard drives, the laptops, the computers, the videotapes. Apparently in his, quote, massage room in the New York City home, he had those
all videoed.
Yeah. And he, it was for blackmail purposes, so to keep himself out of trouble. They have videotapes. They have audio tapes. They have photo albums of the women.
But at the same time, you also have to protect the identity of these victims, especially, minors that were like a part of it.
But you've also had, so he was arrested. Well, his death occurred in 2019. It is 2025. You have had this long to work through those files and get that stuff redacted and then get the information out to the public, because honestly, it should be public information.
No, it should be.
And everybody who's listed as a client of his sex trafficking ring, they need to be prosecuted.
No, I agree 100% on that. Like, more than anything, these people need to be held accountable. I really think that they should all be like lined up and shot and killed.
And that's why I felt like the fumble yesterday. I really, you heard me because I called you when it happened. I was really angry about it because I think that you're toying with these women who were abused by this man and so many other people. It wasn't just this man who abused them. It wasn't just Jeffrey Epstein. He wouldn't have gotten away with what he had gotten away with if there weren't people helping him.
Oh, no.
Powerful people who are still out here in society doing the same thing.
He definitely had to have some help.
So we need all of the information as soon as possible, and then we need arrests to be made. That's my thought. If you have a different take on it, I am absolutely willing to listen to it. I'm open to hearing your side of the argument. I just don't see where else you could fall on this.
No, I mean, sex with underage kids or pedophilia or sex trafficking. I mean, there's really nothing to debate here.
It is funny, like how do you defend it?
No, you don't. Like, you can't.
So I'm gonna go pro pedophile. Like, wait, please do not clip that out ever.
No.
Make it a ringtone. There is no defense to it. There is no devil's advocate side, but maybe people think that it would hurt or harm the law enforcement people who could be potentially named. But I don't think so, because they should be fired and put in jail. So we're really not screwing them over. If they were part of the sex trafficking ring, not just a friend of or an acquaintance of, then they need to be fired and put in jail. So it doesn't really matter if we out them.
I'm looking here just to see, and why I'm looking at all this stuff online right now. I don't see one headline. I don't see one news story about the Epstein stuff.
That it was driving me mad yesterday because all I kept seeing was Gene Hackman. And I'm like, we're waiting on the Epstein list, and you guys completely dropped it. Biggest fumble since Trump was sworn into office.
Do you think Hackman was killed to take? Do you think Hackman was killed to take attention away from the Epstein list?
Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, like, why are you guys not covering the fact that this came out in the worst way possible and not in any way that was promised? I know it might not be big news to some people. I don't know. As a woman, having watched these documentaries and seeing what a monster this person was, and his girlfriends, let's not let Maxwell off the hook here. She was an absolute monster as well. But I want the list.
She's gonna look. Her being a woman, though, like, she has an excuse. She could be like, "Oh, I was threatened. I
don't think she was threatened. I think she was madly in love with him and was willing to do anything that would make him happy and keep her in his life. I think she thought he hung the moon and stars.
Damn. So who owns Epstein Island now? Did the government seize it?
I'm not. I don't want to say for certain.
Because that there are some people there
is an estate still in play. Epstein's estate is still in play because Maxwell did sue the estate recently, maybe a few months back, asking for money because there was money. She believes there's money owed to her from the estate because Jeffrey had promised to keep her in the same lifestyle for as long as they were both, living, or as long as she was alive.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has to be taken.
It's all very complicated because it's all legal stuff. I've been reading nonstop legal stuff.
But you know for a fact that you have all these, like, internet sleuth people that like to, like, I could see people, like, wanting to go to Epstein Island just to kind of, like, see it for themselves. People that are entrenched in the case and stuff.
Yeah.
People would definitely go to Epstein Island.
I'm sure that they would. I'm sure people have gone to his New York City home as well. I mean, just his New York City home, I would go see it just because the architecture is incredible. But I've seen the pictures inside. I'm shocked.
What?
I just don't.
It looks creepy and crazy.
Yeah, it looks dark and creepy and very much like the
a lot
worst,
of pagan stuff.
The worst sex dungeon. Like, he could have done so much better.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what was going on because he had a lot of money and it didn't look well decorated at all. And he could have created a really nice dungeon oasis.
I mean, when I think of, like sex dungeon stuff like that, like there's all types of like hidden passageways.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the goal in life, right? If you were rich enough to create a sex dungeon in your house.
I want to have backroom tunnels
and
that I can walk around.
Like a sex dungeon / like spa. Like I want it to look like the most
aromatherapy, but then you got
the most peaceful and tranquil place of sex torture that you can find.
And then you got like a rack in one corner where you can like tie people up and kind of like that.
It looks nice. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look dirty.
No. You gotta have you want your sex dungeons to be like sterile, like
you joke about it, but I
room.
follow an account on social media that's about like how to build your own sex dungeon. Like this is an art.
See,
you don't just throw some stuff in the corner and just call it a day.
But do you make it look sterile, like an operating room, like all the tables are metal, so
no,
like they don't?
I mean, I guess it just depends on your style.
Okay.
I would say no. Don't make it look like a morgue. But that's just me. You don't want people to come into your dungeon and want to run screaming because they think you're going to murder them.
That you're going to do an autopsy on them or
this
something.
Isn't Saw. Like we're actually going to be here for some fun. It's going to be great. You want to be able to stay in the sex dungeon. You don't want to just go to the sex dungeon and then have to go to a bed to be comfortable.
No, yeah.
So you need everything kind of in there. You definitely need some sort of kitchenette.
You seem like you've thought about this a while.
You got to stay hydrated. You got to be able to like get some protein so that you can stay in the sex dungeon for like an entire weekend if you got nothing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think these things through.
So proper hydration, plenty of protein.
Yeah, and this way nobody has to leave the room. Get
Yeah.
your shower in there. Everything's there. It's self-contained.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, in my head, it's perfect. I don't have a sex dungeon. I don't have that kind of money.
I mean, what would be great, you know how they have all those like TV shows where people come in and they help them build stuff like a home makeover.
Yes.
Could you imagine if there was somebody?
I'm telling you, that's what this woman needs to do who runs this account. She needs to like pitch this to HGTV and say, how to build a sex
Remember
dungeon.
that guy that used to say, move that bus, and then like you have something and like
Extreme
makeover. Yeah.
Home edition. This is extreme makeover. Add a sex dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. And then everybody's like all surprised. It's kind of like Pimp My Ride. Like they put like some like really, really cool stuff in there that's unique.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's what they need to do. Okay. That's what you guys need to tell us. Call us and email us what you would have ideally in your sex dungeon. What are the key ingredients to your sex dungeon? It has to be personal to you. And we'll obviously, if you don't want us to give your information out, we won't. Although be proud that you want to have a sex dungeon and that you're thinking about it, because
what would you have in yours?
Well, let me give out the information first. So you can email us untitled with T&K @gmail.com. Or you can call us and leave us a voicemail. We'll change your voice if you really want us to. 407-796-1183.
All right.
I don't know. I'm like really greedy. I want everything in my sex dungeon.
Like
I just
what?
told you. Like I want it all.
Do you want like something where you can put all the toys in and it sterilizes them, you know, kind of like almost like a dishwasher for dildos or whatever it may be, or whips, or like just something that would...
Yeah, I mean, why am I sterilizing my equipment?
Well,
It's me.
I understand that it's yours, but like...
I'm not like letting people just I'm not renting out my sex room.
Okay.
Like that's not going to happen.
But I mean, maybe you bring a new person into your sex dungeon. Now, is the person coming into your sex dungeon like doing stuff to you, or are you doing stuff to him? Are you the dominant person?
Now all of a sudden, because we're on the sex dungeon talk, you switch to host.
No, okay. I was just asking a question.
Answer the question, Kristin.
No.
Okay, if my family's listening to this, turn it off right now so that I can answer this question properly. I'm on the receiving end.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Every single time. If I'm whipping you, I'm going to get the ick.
What do you mean you're going to get the ick?
If I have to dominate the man, it's going to be an ick for me, Personally,
Okay.
it's not my thing.
But you never ever have been in a position where like
No.
you wanted to be like.
No, I've always been the receiver.
Okay.
Is that the right one?
Yeah,
the
no.
right way to say it?
No,
the
the
one on the
receiver.
receiving end of whatever is going on. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, but you're
I'm not. I mean, maybe I'd spank a guy. That would be fun, but I don't want to dominate a man.
But you also seem like you are like very strong-willed. You have a very strong opinion on things.
So why do I need to have that with a man in the bedroom?
But you're willing to just like give up control like that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So it just seems like most time how you are in your regular life, the reason you get into this type of stuff is you get something different.
I like how you're acting like this is my weekend. Like it's Friday night. She's going to a dungeon.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
this
if you
is how
do,
you get down.
I'm not.
I'll be honest with you. This is not an easy thing to find in people who would want to participate in any sort of way in that lifestyle.
But why? I mean, I don't understand why. Like, if you were into somebody, why you wouldn't like give something a chance the first time? You know, going into it, I think people need to have an open mind.
I completely agree, but do you find that people are super open-minded in society?
Not at all.
Okay, so then why would they be super open-minded when it came to sex and sex dungeons and any sort of kink play, anything like that? They're not going to be like that.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't even know how we got to this. We were talking about give me my list, and now we're talking about sex rooms.
Well, no, we were asking what do you want to have in your sex dungeon, and I was just curious. I just had some questions.
Okay, well, move on from your questions, sir.
Okay, you're the host.
Clearly not. You took over the second sex dungeons came up. You're like, okay, I'm steering this ship. Speaking of sex dungeons, did you see the NSA stuff that came out this week?
I only heard about the little bit of the transgender stuff where they were
sex chats.
Yeah, where they were talking about how good it feels not to have the bulge between
the NSA. Apparently, they have like their little intercompany email, and they were all on it during work. Instead of talking about work, they were talking about sex and operations and.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY at checkout.
Today, the beverage aisle looks a lot different than it used to. America's beverage companies are working together. We're delivering the options everyone wants. In fact, nearly 60% of beverages Americans buy have 0 sugar. You'll find more variety than ever, including more of your favorites, now available with 0 sugar. You'll also find more sizes and clear calorie information on the front of every can, bottle, and pack. We know when it comes to finding balance, the more choices, the better.
What it feels like now that they don't have their penis anymore, or now that they have fake breasts, or they've been fully waxed or lasered or whatever.
Yeah.
They're talking about this instead of doing work. They're just sitting here talking about sex all day. It's so uncomfortable.
I don't understand why you would use an NSA or a CIA or FBI server, because all that stuff's being logged. Like, why the fuck would you talk about that type of stuff?
Of course. Like, what is wrong with you? They clearly don't have a line.
No.
But I learned a new word this week because of the NSA.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of a polycule?
Now, poly would seem like, somebody that is a little bit of everything or whatever, but I'm just, taking a shot in the dark there.
Yeah. It's a network of people who are connected through romantic or sexual type relationships.
Okay.
So they're forming a group where multiple people are involved with each other in consensual relationships. And somehow it's combining polyamory, which that's what I thought polyamory was, and molecule, because it means it's interconnected.
Okay.
It's more of an interconnected group.
So now we're
And
just
that's why
making up
they
fucking
say
words.
they can't just stick with the polyamorous label because they're more interconnected and that they're bonded in a sort of way. I don't know. I've never heard of this. I feel like I know most of the stuff that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never heard of a polycule. Like, I listen to multiple sex podcasts. I have never heard them talk about this.
No.
But thank you, NSA employees, because now I know what a polycule is. Of course, I found out while watching TV with my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, come on. Like, I mean, the polycule thing? You learned that while...
Yeah, we were watching, I forget how it started. We were watching Gutfelders. We were hanging out and we had been eating like cheesecake and stuff. And then we decided to turn on Gutfeld, and I think they talked about polycule, and it was a whole conversation wherein I did a deep dive about polycules.
Was there any other dirty stuff that was being, like, were they talking about any hookups?
Yeah, they were talking about, like, scheduling some gangbangs and which weekend they would do it on. I mean, it's insane.
I mean, it's one thing if you did that on your own private time with text messaging and stuff and not using a CIA or NSA server.
There was one specific thread that was dedicated just to weekend gangbangs. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know anybody who worked for the NSA even could get down like this.
Oh, like there's some sickos all throughout government. There's probably some senators that would love to be in on that chat.
I just don't look at any of these people as sexual human beings. Have you seen some of these people? Like,
yes,
you don't
of
look
course.
at them and think that guy gets down on the weekends.
I
mean, I know we shouldn't really kind of base our opinion on people by how they look, but it is just so strange because these people seem so boring and so buttoned up.
Well,
and then to find out that they're talking about weekend gangbangs and literally, like, I counted one of the conversations, the person was describing their polycule. There were 15 people involved in this sex polycule.
Well,
it was
a
insane.
gangbang.
By the way, how do you keep up with 15 people?
Mm-hmm.
How?
You don't.
I can't date two people at the same time because it's way too much for me.
Well, I mean,
too much work, too much chat, too much hanging out. Like, I can't.
You're saying a lot of these people are boring, though. I mean, I always thought
clearly they're not boring.
I'll give you an example. Like, what is Nancy Pelosi and her husband into? That one guy when the cops show up and there's a guy with a hammer and Pelosi. Did you just lick your straw? Like, what the hell?
When I drank from it, it started to drip down, so I just licked it off.
But Pelosi's husband being like in his underwear with another dude when the cops came and the guy had a hammer. And I'm like, what kind of role playing were they up to?
No, please don't put Nancy Pelosi naked in my brain right now.
Well, she wasn't.
I can't.
She wasn't. She wasn't even there.
Yeah, as far as I know, that woman has never been naked a day in her life. She showers with panties on. I can't think about that.
She did get a boob job, it looks like. They look a lot bigger.
Why are you looking at Nancy Pelosi's chest? What sick pervert are you?
I'm not a sick
what
pervert.
Is that?
I'm just saying, like, guys will look at breasts of women no matter what age. Like, you're going to look as a guy.
At Nancy Pelosi's chest?
I'm not imagining what they look like,
she
but...
looks like a wax sculpture.
Okay, she's had a lot of work done.
And that is fine. I support having a lot of work done, but she has money. Look, she stole enough money, allegedly. What plastic surgeon did she go to? It is so bad. It is so bad. And there is great plastic surgery out there.
You can only stretch things so far.
I'm going to disagree with you because I've seen some women with some amazing plastic surgery, even recently. And I don't know where she was going for hers. Like, don't go to the plastic surgeon that you find on Groupon.
No, Nancy Pelosi's not going to a Groupon plastic surgeon.
I don't know. I think she was bargain basement hunting for that face. I'm just saying it doesn't look like they did a good job, and they can work magic these days. You'd be surprised at how many people have had plastic surgery and you don't even realize it.
Well, I think the key is starting early.
I believe so too. So if a plastic surgeon would like to start early with someone and they need someone to like come on in and see what they've got, I'm always available. You know the number. I'm always up for trying new things. But yes, so seriously, the NSA sex chats, embarrassing as hell. Also very revealing. I can't get down with the 15 people thing.
I mean,
because you have to give 15 people, then you have to give them some sort of attention.
No, but
how do you keep up with 15 people?
Some people just are just like that.
They talked about like how great this. I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to gross anybody out or make anybody uncomfortable.
No.
But they did talk about, you know, how it feels now to pee.
Oh yeah, sitting down.
Yeah. By the way, you could have always sat down to pee. Yeah. I know men who sit down to pee because they like it better.
At night, like when I don't want to turn the lights on, like to go to the bathroom, because if you turn the lights on, it's going to wake you up even more. Like I know where the toilet is, and if I got to pee at night in the middle of the night so I don't have to turn the lights on, I will sit down and piss.
You know, one time, and I really didn't want to say this to somebody, I had a good friend who had a boyfriend who would pee all over the seat. And at some point, she like laid down the law and said, you have to sit when you pee from now on because I keep sitting in your pee, which is weird because wouldn't he have at least lifted the seat?
Yeah. Or, I mean, I'd clean it up at the very least.
Yeah.
I mean, how badly was he missing?
She said she was sitting in his pee all the time.
Well,
it got bad enough where she demanded that he sit down to pee. So at this point, I'd known her for a while, and he had been sitting to pee for like 2 years.
Do I know this person?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
So I thought it was insane. Fast forward maybe a couple more years, and I'm dating somebody, and every day I'm cleaning pee off the floor around the toilet. And I don't understand how this is even possible. Like, what is going on here?
I could see, like...
How are you missing the toilet consistently every day?
I can see if you're a dude and you stop at a gas station and you get a little pee all over the place.
Is it the shaking afterwards that gets the pee on things?
But still, though, like...
Because maybe just don't do that. Maybe take a piece of toilet tissue and just kind of like wipe it off.
But then at the same time, some men, no matter how you shake it or get it... Once you put it back in the pants and you're zipping everything back up or whatever, like you're getting a little bit of
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if you're not wiping it, then aren't you just still? I mean, there's no way you're getting it completely dry, right?
No.
Okay, so just wipe it with a little piece of paper. And then just toss the paper with the pee and flush the toilet.
I mean, but that
was the closest I ever came to asking a man to sit, because I was just like, you've got to be every day. I'm cleaning pee up every day. It's gross.
That is demasculine. It is
to make them sit,
to make a guy sit down and piss.
Which is why I never brought it up to him. I just continued to clean up his pee every day.
But why?
I never even told him that the pee was there because I felt like he might be embarrassed by that.
It's just lazy though on your part that if you do happen to miss a little bit as a guy, it's very easy to just pull a piece of toilet paper off and wipe up whatever you
would think
you got on there.
You would think.
Huh.
But he didn't. So it's not a big deal. I just didn't understand the whole, is this a shaking situation or you're misaiming? Because these people in the NSA chat, they seem to think that it's much easier to pee without a penis versus with a penis.
You're more versatile with a penis when it comes to urinating.
Because you would know?
Well, yes, because I can pee standing up. I don't have to squat.
So I'm assuming that these people who are in the sex chat may not have jobs for very long because this is probably against company policy.
Oh, yeah. And they're also, Doge will find out. Doge will find out, look, we're paying you to do some work and not just have sex chats in our in our servers?
There are two interesting things about this story that I kept thinking about this week. One, I haven't had like a lot of traditional jobs where I've had like tons of coworkers. So did you just give me the time? Like I'm talking too much?
No, I just.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
your producer. I was just trying to give you a time.
You can just cut out the bits where it doesn't make sense, right?
Okay.
You can cut this part out where I'm yelling at you.
All right. No, I want to keep that in there so everybody hears how mean you are.
Okay, anyway, I haven't had traditional jobs where I worked with a lot of people, especially like at a company. But do you get this close, like with the people in your office where you talk about gangbangs and your vagina versus penis and no, right?
Not in a corporate setting. Now,
I wouldn't think that I'd ever want to have these conversations with the people I work with. They're not my friends. They're my coworkers.
But like, it's a lot different working at a radio station as well, too.
That is completely different. You're not the best person to ask.
No,
But I would think that if you work in a law office and you guys have some inter-office chat, you're not going to be chatting about the chick you banged on Saturday night, and I'm not going to be telling you about the guy I took home on Sunday morning.
Well, you worked in a corporate setting at the place across the racetrack. I mean, you worked at a corporate setting with NASCAR
for a few years.
Did they like have group chats?
Yes, but we never talked about this stuff. I mean, I worked with all men mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I would never think to have these conversations with them. We were never friends like that. We were friends at the track and we were friendly, but we weren't talking about our sex. And I would never think to talk to them about that.
So, like, none of the big wigs
No.
or even it was just like, all right, who'd you bang this weekend?
Yeah, no, we never talked about that.
How many different partners did you have?
Did I hear sex talk?
Oh, yeah.
As
but
gossip?
You will.
Absolutely. But it was gossip. It was, two people just, at the track just saying, hey, did you hear about this person giving a cell phone out to this groupie or that groupie? Those kinds of things. That's all I ever heard. But we never talked about like our personal sex lives.
No,
we definitely didn't do it on the company server.
No, why would you?
Where there would be a record of everything we said.
Oh, also at the same time, you don't. If you're logged into the Wi-Fi, company Wi-Fi, you don't talk about that type of shit.
So you know what's crazy though? When they let these chats be released, we don't have any of the names of the people.
Do we have like user, like fake up username?
The names. They're blacked out, so you have no idea who the people are, which is strange to me. Maybe it's like a thing because they have some sort of clearance or something, and there's like a danger involved in
you don't want to
releasing
blow their
name.
cover.
Yeah, but I feel like they're going to get fired. So at some point, maybe we'll hear their names. So that isn't the second thing I was thinking about. What would happen if yours got released? Like, what would your worst email or worst text say? The most embarrassing one.
Oh, man. Like, you know what would really get me in trouble is like the stuff that I will DM to like my friends that I didn't create, but maybe I'll find something that's like very, very offensive that's online that I'll send as a DM
like
to
sexist or something.
Yeah, or like I don't know, could be just offensive or whatever. Just maybe not the best taste per se.
Right.
That if they shared it and they like, look at all the stupid shit that Patrick or Tuddle sends me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that would be some of the stuff that would.
No, that's not the most embarrassing thing you've ever sent. And a meme is not the most embarrassing thing you've ever sent. I'm thinking like NSA sex chat level. Like what have you discussed that if it came out, you would hope that your name was redacted from it, or you sent it and within like 30 seconds of sending it, you wish you could unsend it.
Oh, man. Maybe some really fat girls that maybe I've been with in the past that.
Wait, what?
What? I'm just saying,
What do you mean though? Like you sent what about them?
Well, just kind of like, kind of went hogging this weekend.
You sent that message to somebody?
Yeah, like maybe one of my dude friends or whatever.
You're making this up.
No, I
You wouldn't even do that. My guess is it's like an unsolicited dick pic with like no words. Or
I've
something.
never ever sent a picture of my cock to anybody.
You
no.
say that now it's going to come out.
Okay. Well, I hope somebody,
I mean,
like does me justice and actually
that's
talks.
the worst thing you've sent.
What?
Was just some reference to a larger woman that you had sex with.
Yeah, because like
that's the worst thing you've ever sent.
What is the worst thing you've ever sent?
No. We're not going down that road. I'm just saying to myself, like, there's no way that would be the thing you're embarrassed about.
No, I'm really, but also at the same time, I don't get really embarrassed about much of anything.
Do you think that anybody who's listening to this will actually call us and tell us what they've sent that they wish they could unsend?
I mean,
because that's what I want to know. Like, let's get a circle of trust here. Wait, how about this? If they call and give us theirs or email us theirs, I'll give you. I won't email you. I'll give you 2 of mine.
Well, give me an idea because
I'll give you words. And I'll give you a description.
Okay.
If they'll give us some.
Have you sent pictures out to people? Am
I a female?
Yeah.
In her 30-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I just think that...
I mean, honestly.
Do dudes really send dick pictures unsolicited all the time?
Not so much anymore. Me Too kind of stopped that.
Yeah.
They don't send them as much. I get a lot of like abs and chest now. And they'll like cute like pull down their pants a little so you can see the V.
Oh yeah.
But you don't see anything. I do get those unsolicited.
Okay. And like does that do anything for you?
No. They're unsolicited.
Okay.
If I wanted it, I'd ask for it.
Have you ever
Oh, have I ever asked?
Yes.
Again, you're giving the people something and we're not getting anything back.
All right.
Have I asked for dick pics? Absolutely.
Okay, guys.
Absolutely.
Send in all of your information.
I love how men think that women are so much different.
No, I'm just...
You don't... If you ever could get a recording into a conversation amongst women, like say like at a brunch or a lunch, we are so much dirtier than you guys.
Know.
Than you guys even are.
The
things we talk about openly are so much dirtier than you would ever imagine.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. I mean, I kind of figured that you guys are just as nasty as we are.
We really are. It's bad.
But guys can get really, really bad, though, too.
No, okay. Anyway, share yours. It does. I mean, again,
we're gonna hold you to it, though.
We will protect who you are. If you don't want people to know, I'm gonna openly share mine. But if you will just share yours with us, and then I'll share mine with you. 407-796-1183, or you can email us untitled with tandk@gmail.com. Just make up a new Gmail for yourself so that we don't know who you are.
But we're not going to say who it is.
And there's no judgment.
No.
Hell, I mean, if you're out here in the world and you got somebody to send dick pics to and pussy pics to, and they are being solicited, be freaking proud of that. Be proud of yourself. That's how I feel. Would you like to comment on that?
No, I wish that women were a lot more out in the open.
You're just staring out into the sun right now, and I'm just wondering if you're here.
No, I'm here because I'm just trying to think, because now you got my mind racing here. Like, thinking about some of because I'm sure there's a lot of bad stuff that I've sent out. But I'm just, I'm kind of glad to hear that women are actually a bit more open and out with admitting to being just as nasty as we are.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. You just got to get them out of their shell a little bit.
I think you
make them feel comfortable enough to be their true self with you.
But I also think, just like when you get a group of guys together, you ladies kind of feed off of each other, and like once somebody admits something,
that's
you guys
not always true, because I will tell you, I've sat in a group of women before who were almost the opposite, where they were very conservative in what they would share, and they were very closed down when it came to anything having to do with sex, including speaking about their partners or even having sex with their partners. There was a lot of talk in a specific group that I won't name. It wasn't a group of women I chose to be around. And they would brag about being able to get out of sex with their significant other. They would brag about not having to give blowjobs to their significant other. And I sat there horrified and thought, God, what a horrible life that would be.
Yeah.
If you hated sex with this person so much, but you stayed with them and then sort of incentivized it. Because there was talk about, well, I'll give you a blowjob if you'll buy me patio furniture. And I really thought at that point, like I would just have to Epstein myself.
No. Well,
I couldn't live like that.
no, I mean, I don't know why anybody would. I mean, it just doesn't sound like a fun time that
But
everything's
apparently,
incentives. Yeah.
There were several people that you know that were living like that.
Oh, I think I know exactly.
Exactly. You know what group I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I got to tell you, I really, I think you might have to be the full-time host now because a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, why?
Well,
they're going to want to talk about sex chats?
well, that and, you know.
Oh, if you're involved in a polycule, definitely email us. I have to know. I have to know where you get the emotional and physical stamina to keep up with a polycule. Give me your, plan, like your diet plan. How are you getting enough protein?
How are you getting enough hydrated? Yeah.
What is going on? Are you doing yoga?
Are you
doing hot yoga? How are you staying limber?
Are you taking uppers to be able to keep it going?
Are you keeping an ice roller just specifically for your pussy in the freezer?
God.
Like, I'm serious. Like, how are you living?
What's an ice roller?
You know those ice rollers you put on your face?
Oh, yeah.
To de-puffy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, obviously you're not going to use the one that you used on your face, on your genitals. So you're going to get a second one for your pussy. I'm not saying I've ever had one. I'm not saying there's a second one from Skinny Confidential in my freezer.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying it's possible that people are out here in the world using them.
Anybody having a...
And maybe if you're involved in a polycule, you might want to invest in one, or you have already invested in several. Because there's different sizes.
Or somebody has a vibrating necklace or whatever.
True. Do you know that they make not a vibrating necklace. They make a dildo now that both cools and heats.
Oh, wait. So you can control it, like say, oh, this is a little too hot. I can lower the temp.
It could be room temperature. It could be hot. It could be cold.
Yeah, but you also don't want it so cold, like, when you stick your tongue on a like frozen like metal pole.
It's not going to be cold where you're getting stuck to it. That's craziness. What do you have to be so extreme for?
I'm just saying, maybe some people are
so we know that your next job will not be in sex toy design.
No.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, I'd steer clear of that. You love to out me in like these little ways, like sex vibrating. What would you say? A sex vibrating necklace?
Yeah.
It's a dildo necklace.
Okay, it's a dildo necklace.
Just call it what it is.
Okay, I'm just saying. I remember, like, you would say, hey, should I post this? Is it too obvious that I got a vibrating dildo necklace in this picture? And I'm like, no, I think you're good. You're good to go.
You don't even care. You're like posting. You're like secretly sitting there like everybody's going to know what that is.
No,
Let me tell her to post it. They also make a ring that I want so bad.
Okay. Like,
it's gorgeous. They make high-end.
Is it phallic shaped? Does it got
vibrator jewelry?
Oh, okay.
And so they make the necklace, which I have, but I have one iteration of the necklace. There's a new one coming out that's smaller that I actually want. It's called a mini Vesper.
Mini Vesper.
I think I have Vesper 2 right now. I don't have original Vesper. And then they have a ring, which is gorgeous. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's the jewelry is really nice.
Wow.
And I did put it on my account one day on my Instagram story because I just received it. But I'd received a few things that day. It was just a happy mail day. But I didn't know if it was going to be too obvious.
Definitely need to come up with an Amazon wish list of just like random like decorative sex jewelry or whatever that people can send to you.
No, it's not. There's two items. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I was looking up. It's called the tease ring.
Oh.
Look at how beautiful it is. Can you see this?
Oh, look at there.
If anybody wants it, I'll give you the information. Their Instagram is hold on one second, because they're Crave. That's the name of the company, but their Instagram is Love Crave. Gorgeous jewelry. If a man's listening, great gift idea. And if a woman's listening, get you some.
All right, guys.
Wait, no, we're not done. You don't get to call it done.
Okay.
We haven't even talked about all the other stuff I want to talk about. What are we going to do?
All right, I'm just saying we're at an hour. That's all.
We're only allowed an hour.
Well, I mean, they like to keep it 45 minutes to an hour 15.
Oh, okay. Well, can we just save my next topics for next week?
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I mean, we can do them right now if you want to.
No, I don't want to rush through them.
Okay. All right. I think you did an amazing job today, and I think you
I just
definitely
feel like we talked about very heavy stuff, and I was ready to go off on like some fun stuff. But that's okay. We'll save the fun stuff for next week.
You did a great job.
One of the stories I've been sending you steady since like the end of December, and you haven't covered it yet, so we'll just save that one.
Which one is that? Give us a little
I'm not
tease.
going to give you a tease, because then you guys you'll go look it up, and it'll ruin the surprise.
All
Is
right.
it worth it? Yes,
I
maybe.
think I'm kind of, what story have you been sending me since December?
I know you don't even read my emails.
No, I do too. I'm
No,
just
you
trying to
don't.
figure out which one that you've been sending me
And
since
you delete
December.
all of my links, because I'll send you a link to a really cool story, and then like 5 days later I'll ask you about it. Don't lie and say you don't do
Maybe
this.
I
And you'll be like,
have.
oh, I deleted that. Can you resend it?
Maybe I have been guilty of that. I have this
What, do you
problem.
clear out your phone all the time?
Yeah, I clear out my text messages
Do you
on
really?
Sunday. Yeah, I don't.
All of them?
Yeah, I don't
My
like
dad
have.
does that too. I think it's so
It's
diabolical.
a very mental thing where you just don't like the clutter.
It's not clutter. It's just conversations in your phone. What do you have to go back and like reference a conversation you had?
It must have not have been that important if I can't remember it.
No. Okay, first, that is so not true when it comes to you, because you don't really remember things, because you usually are like thinking about 5 different things at one time.
No, I definitely am.
So for your brain specifically, you should hold on to messages.
No.
Because you will have been doing 3 other things when you were receiving that message, and you won't remember that message.
No,
Which is why I keep sending you the same links over and over again.
If you gave me 3 stories that it could be, 2 of them wrong, the one that you've been sending me since December, I guarantee you I would pick out the right one.
Okay.
No, I would guarantee it. Like 100%. Like I'm batting 4 for 4, like on every single one. Like I'm getting into the Hall of Fame when it comes to getting it right. Like I would. That's why I think you are probably saying, "Oh, I've been sent to you since December," and it's probably been into January.
I promise you it hasn't, because I keep everything. So I have dates.
Oh, okay.
You already know
So
I'm
you're
like-
always keeping score then.
No, but you know I'm like the screenshot queen.
Okay.
I had like a very brief stint working for like a corporation,
Mm-hmm.
and all I learned there was CYA. That's all they ever taught me.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, it was keep everything, screenshot everything. And since then, I've been like a total psycho about that. So I screenshot everything, I keep everything. Anything that I need, like information I need in the future, if I have to reference something, I always keep it in a folder just so I know. And all my folders are very neat, because you know how I am with that. Similar to you.
Oh, yeah. All my.
But at the same time, I do keep everything, because you never know when you're going to need something. And I feel like in the very small amount of times that I've deleted something, I've needed some kind of information from that thread.
Oh, I'm very organized. Like all of my apps on my iPhone are in their folders.
Yeah.
All the folders are in alphabetical order. All the apps in the folders are in alphabetical order.
My mother does not have any apps in folders. You go on her phone.
So you got to go
and
like
you
5 or
scroll
6
through,
pages.
Like five different screens of apps. They're all fucking willy-nilly. Like, I don't know how she lives her life like that.
I couldn't.
It's insanity.
It would bug the absolute shit out of me.
I'm like, put your stuff in folders. She's like, it's too late now. What do you mean it's too late now? How do you find anything on this phone? Well, I guess she goes to that one part of the phone that has like the little, on the iPhone.
Oh, and she just
you can
searches.
search the app you want. She just does that. But that's insane. That's not a way to live.
Have you ever added a folder that messes up like where something is, and then you got to get used to it? It'll take a couple of days, and you'll be like, "Oh fuck!"
All the time, because everybody has their folder. Even Boo and Jack have their own folder with all their little apps that they have.
Boo and Jack is Kristin's dog and cat, by the way.
They know my dog and cat, don't they?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you do post a lot of pictures of them, so like. People need to follow you. If you followed Kristin at Kristin L. Fowler on Instagram or Twitter, just basically anywhere on social media, you would know
I'm
who
everywhere.
Boo and Jack are.
Yeah, everywhere at Kristin L. Fowler. I think everywhere.
Boo
unless
is,
there's something I don't know about yet.
Boo is the cat. Jack is the dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, but I need lots of feedback, guys. I've asked you guys for specific stuff. I need you guys to come through. I need calls. I need emails. I want to know all of your thoughts.
Okay. And I think I'm going to
I don't want to be like, I was
voicemail.
going to say, I want to know all of your dirty secrets.
No, we do, though.
And you know what? And then I censored myself, and that was the wrong thing to do because that's not true. I don't want to know all of your thoughts. I want to know all of your dirty secrets. I want to know what is the thing in your phone that is the most embarrassing thing, that is the reason why you have a passcode on your phone.
And by the way, we can
like
change
I can
your
tell
voice.
you that there are things I've deleted from my phone before I've allowed it to back up.
Yeah, we can change your voice when you call in to disguise it. We can easily do
that. We can do anything.
I hate those voices though.
But I mean, we can
But we will
protect
do
people.
it. We'll do it.
We can easily protect everybody.
So I'm going to just give out the number one more time,
Okay.
just in case.
Mhm.
407-796-1183. And the email is untitled with tnk@gmail.com. And then if you want to just send them to me, you could DM me on anything at Kristin L. Fowler, Kristin.
Yeah, no ENIN.
Don't say that, because that's what then confuses people.
I'm sorry I do that.
So
all the
ridiculous.
time.
It's not with a CHR. It's with a KR.
Yeah, it's with a
Let's
KR.
just make it as confusing as possible so people can't reach
Yeah,
us.
it is CRISTON.
No, don't do that.
Kristin.
Don't do that.
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this show, and we will see you next weekend.